Summer is just about here in Western Washington, and as more people spend more time outdoors at places like the beach, the danger of getting melanoma from overexposure to the sun increases, and the need to wear sunscreen becomes more important than ever. But over the years, there's been some misinformation circulating, mainly online, about the safety and overall effectiveness of sunscreen. And that has a lot of medical professionals worried that this could put a lot of people in danger of getting skin cancer. According to a recent survey from the Melanoma Research Alliance, 53% of Americans say that they've seen claims that sunscreen may be harmful. And the survey also found that 59% are concerned about the chemicals in sunscreen. And meanwhile, 38% of those surveyed say they do not believe that sunscreen is safe or even effective. I spoke with Dr. Mark Hurlbert, CEO of the Melanoma Research Alliance, about misconceptions about sunscreen and why it's important that everyone wear sun protection year-round, whether the sun is shining or not. What are some of the myths about sunscreen and sun protection that are out there?
Yeah, thanks, Chris. Melanoma is a fairly common cancer. There are more than 230,000 Americans that will hear the news you have melanoma this year. And that's alarming because melanoma is very preventable. Skin cancer is very preventable by avoiding intentionally burning your skin. And so at the Melanoma Research Alliance, we conducted a survey of 2,000 US adults. And what we found is 80% of people were aware that sun can cause skin cancer and cause melanoma. But only about 30% were actively wearing sunscreen or practicing sun-safe behaviors.
What are some of these myths about sunscreen, and what are they valid at all?
Yeah, so what we found was a few myths. So in our survey, one was that you only need to wear sunscreen during the summer months, during the sunny, summer season, and not other times of the year. That's a big myth. You need to wear sunscreen every day. The other thing we found was about 59%, 60% of respondents had heard, they've read about claims that sunscreen ingredients are not safe. This was they've seen it online, they've seen it maybe in local news. However, that's not accurate. All sunscreens that you can buy at your local pharmacy or grocery store here in the U.S. are safe. Sunscreens are regulated by the U.S. Food and Drug Administration, the FDA. Just like the FDA regulates over-the-counter drugs, they regulate sunscreens, and they're routinely tested for safety. So all sunscreens are safe. So the myth is that sunscreens aren't safe.
So let's talk about use of sunscreen, proper use, and how much it can reduce your chances of getting melanoma.
Absolutely. So the risk factors for melanoma include sunburn and sort of intentionally exposing your sun to the skin, laying out at the beach, laying out at the pool, exercising outdoors without a shirt on, without any sunscreen on. So applying sunscreen and practicing sun-safe behaviors can greatly reduce your risk from melanoma. 95% of melanomas are caused by sun damage. So wearing sunscreen can greatly reduce your risk. We recommend that you use broad spectrum sunscreen. So the broad spectrum means that it protects against both UVA and UVB radiation. And then as well, we recommend using an SPF 30 or higher. SPF is sun protective factor. And these sunscreens are tested for how much protection they provide. And so typically you see them at SPF 30, 50, 70, 100. But we recommend 30 or higher, finding one that you're comfortable using.
We're heading into the summer, but even on a cloudy day, inside even, if you're in the shade, particularly near water, let's talk about the importance of remembering to wear sunscreen in those situations.
Absolutely. So, well, first we encourage people to make sunscreen part of their daily routine. So in the morning, before you leave the house, when you're getting ready, brushing your teeth, applying your makeup or face creams, make sunscreen part of your daily routine, and also reapply it throughout the day. And it's not only when you're outdoors. So there have been, not the current survey, but other research studies looked at, for example, truck drivers, tractor trailer truck drivers that drive across the country, all day, every day, full time for their jobs. And they found a really high incidence of melanoma and skin cancers on the left side of their arm and face, right, where they're exposed directly to that side driver's window. And so the same is true if you're an office worker and you're sitting right next to a bright window all day long. for several hours, you're getting sun exposure. So we recommend, again, applying your sunscreen in the morning, make it part of your daily routine, and then reapply throughout the day.